Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the European Speed... No, it's not. Wrong event. Welcome to the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering Autumn 2021. Woo! Everybody, another exciting event is upon us, one that we have worked very hard to bring to you, and we hope you all absolutely enjoy. Joining me today for this lovely opening ceremony is going to be our first host for this event, Mr. RuffledBricks, right down there. And then a special guest straight from the charity we're raising money towards, Crisis. It is going to be Daniel, one of these directions, I think, on my side somewhere. Yes, video calls, very confusing. But yeah, we will have a wee chat with Mr. Dan in just a moment. But first, let's break down a little bit of what you can look forward to during this event. We have 3 fantastic days of action. As always, they're running from, now, in a moment, when we start the first run, until 1 a.m. every day. And then Saturdays and Sundays start at 11 a.m. They go to 1 a.m. And so that should be a grand total of, my math is failing me right now. It should be about 36 to 38 hours of nonstop speedrunning action. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for you all to see it. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. Let's get started, I think. I think one good thing to look at here is the schedule. So I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, Ruffled. Tell me, what are you looking forward to?
Well, it's probably going to give some very partisan shout-outs in this section, just to warn you. But I think the first thing that I need to say is that ZX Spectrum speedruns have been a bit of a mainstay in UKSG over the last year. And you may or may not have heard the news that sadly yesterday the creator of the ZX Spectrum, Sir Clive Sinclair, passed away at the age of 81. So we have probably a slightly more special ZX Spectrum block than normal today, as Digital Duck is going to be running a couple of Spectrum games. It's going to be running Jumping Jupiter, which is a more modern kind of version of the old Manic Miner style platformers from the 80s. And he's also going to be doing, there's pretty much always a Dizzy game somewhere in the mix, but he's going to be doing Treasure Island Dizzy as well. So it'll be a nice little send-off for Sir Clive there. So join that. I'll be hosting the first section of that. Got to give a shout out to a very good friend of mine, Angel Interceptor, who is making her marathon debut today with DuckTales. And it's I believe she's the only runner of the PAL version at the moment, so that will be a unique treat that you'll be seeing later on. Also very interested to see, I mean, it's too obvious to shout out Argic normally, but he's actually doing a non-Sonic game for a change on the run, Star Fox 64. So I'd be very interested to see how he handles that. And finally, because it's the game that got me back into gaming a couple of years ago after a long hiatus. Yes, apologies, gang. It's Untitled Goose Game is seeing a lovely 100% run by a very own Reikelt on the Reikelt. My apologies. I'm sure Rick won't mind at all. Yeah, I hope not. But yes, he's soon. I love the 100% run. I've seen it done by a few runners before, and it's such a lovely mixture of RNG and NPC bothering. So there's quite a few. There's a lot of lovely stuff on this run. Looking forward to it.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah. And I'll throw a few quick highlights of my own. Really looking forward to our first 2 runs of the event. Rain and Magma racing Super Mario Odyssey any percent. I don't think we've ever had Super Mario Odyssey, so it's going to be a nice, lovely first on this event. We also have Super Mario World by Ghost Senpai 11 Exit, which is always a lovely broken mess So I'm sure it's going to be a really fun showcase. Of course, we cannot go an event without having our very own Day Jack of Hearts featured in one way, shape, or another. And this time they're doing Hugo's House of Horrors and then XCOM UFO Enemy Unknown. Hopefully they'll be underestimated. I'm sure they will be. They always are. And then perhaps on Saturday, we're going to be starting off with some Devil May Cry 2. Really nice. Very exciting. We also have Ninja Gaiden, the original. Always an insanely optimized game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Grumpmeister behaves on that. And finally, to start off the Sunday, we have our very own, straight from BSG, It's Cruel, doing the Pokemon trading card game, followed by HUD's doing Sonic 1 Forever. So yeah, more Sonic games because they're always fun. Wait a minute, what's that? There's a bonus game. Wait a minute. I think I know what's going on here. Oh no. There's going to be a bonus game towards the end of this event. You all should probably check out what it is on our donation page at uksg.esamarathon.com/index/UKSGAU21. It is a specific, lovely little bonus game. And if we raise enough money for it over the course of the event, it's going to be an amazing time. You probably don't want to miss it. It's from a great runner. But yeah, I think it is at this point where we must kind of leave all of these lovely options onto you all. And I'm sure we're aware that the bot is a little bit like there's the wrong links there. We'll get that fixed in time. But until now, just kind of browse, check out our first few runs as we now start turning over to to our honorary guest for this opening ceremony. And it is from Crisis. It is Dan. Hello, Dan.
Hello, everyone. I'm really intrigued by this surprise game. I'm hoping it's Banjo-Kazooie.
Who knows?
I hope I haven't just ruined it. It's not Banjo-Kazooie, is it?
God, change it quickly. No. Yeah, no, it is unfortunately not. But it is something that will be worth the wait, honestly. So by all means, when the time comes, get those donations in. But until that happens, let's get started here. Dan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our lovely audience over here?
Yeah, hey everyone. So I'm Dan Gray. I am Crisis's digital fundraising lead. So based in London, in the UK. I'm from Dublin originally, if anyone can still pick up on the last vestiges of my Irish accent. But yeah, I've been working with Crisis for 2 years now towards our mission of ending homelessness in the UK.
Yeah, I was going to ask just now, basically. So run us through a little bit about what Crisis does in your own words. I know we have all of these blurbs that we keep saying in like intermissions and when there's quiet times. But I think it's probably for the best if we hear it from a representative themselves. So tell us, what does Crisis do exactly?
Yeah, I mean, the way I always think about it is, so we say we want to end homelessness, and there's two aspects to that, right? There's, ending homelessness structurally, creating the political environment where homelessness is essentially impossible in the UK. But beyond that, there's the ending an individual's homelessness. So putting the conditions in place where somebody who is experiencing homelessness can sustainably be housed for good. So there's no individual's homelessness. And I'm speaking from experience here. I was homeless for a period as a child, and no individual's homelessness is the same as another's. So there's a whole complete different mesh of factors that might have contributed to you being in that situation. And the sort of definitions that we usually think of is rough sleeping. We see people on the streets and we categorize that as homelessness. That's definitely the most severe type of it, but there's all these other conditions that people might be living in. You might be sofa surfing, you might just have very insecure housing, and situation that puts individuals in is, as you can imagine, just, really, really, really damaging and traumatic oftentimes. So our approach with individuals is super flexible, really, really depends on where that person is in their journey, how quickly we can get them out of homelessness, what they need, whether that's help finding jobs, improving their employability, mental health services, arts classes, gaming, which we're going to do for the first time this Christmas, anything, just bringing people back into a comfortable, psychologically kind of secure social place. And
that's absolutely lovely, absolutely amazing. So is there like what are some actions that you've actually like done recently and like to that effect? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, so as you might imagine, the last 18 months has all been about adaptability. What we've been doing has changed month on month, it feels, as the governmental policies have changed time and time again. We had a really big landmark moment towards the beginning of the pandemic, where the UK government committed to everybody in. So that was making sure that absolutely nobody was left without a bed to sleep in during the pandemic. The situation has changed a lot since then, and we're seeing the reduction with the removal of, for instance, the universal credit stipend that people had been provided with, and we're seeing again a huge number of people being in very precarious positions at the beginning of that kind of journey of homelessness. So a lot of the work we do will be on trying to reach the most vulnerable people, the most hard to reach people. So we'll do that through various different kind of outreach programs that will change on a local level. So that'll be working with other actors, other charities, local councils, and so on in different areas to find people, try and move people along the chain towards sustainable housing quite quickly, but also just really, really, really simple, case by case stuff. Like if you consider what a challenge the pandemic, if you didn't have a mobile phone, you didn't have access to the internet, you didn't have a computer, anything like that, how isolating that is. So did a whole lot of work in the last year on providing technology and training on how to use that for people, not because it's just technology and that's the sake of it, but to really maintain that ability for people to be able to connect on a human level. So yeah, that's the sort of digital inclusion piece has been a really, really important factor in the last year.
All right, very, very nice. And I guess it's like one last little question. So don't mean to brag, but yeah, UKSG, over the past events that we have been raising money for Crisis, we've raised a total of £11,378, which is quite a sizable chunk. Now, how has that money come into effect when it comes to like helping out and kind of achieving your goals like this? And as an extension to that question, like, suppose somebody wants to donate like £10 or £15, like where does that fit in like the, for lack of a better word, the crisis machine of sorts?
Yeah, well, first of all, just to say that is an absolutely incredible tally of money. So thank you to everyone who's contributed to that. Honestly, it's insane. What's quite important to us as an independent charity is maintaining, and sorry for the jargon here, but what we would call unrestricted funding. So restricted funding would be where we say, an individual donates money to us and they say, we want to build a house for an individual. That's what I want to do. As an independent charity, that's not, we don't get any funding from the government, et cetera, et cetera. Having access to this unrestricted pool allows us to be quite flexible in how we spend that money. So we could take two divergent things that might be spent on to kind of illustrate that. One, that could be, we would spend funding like that on the training and development of coaches in our Skylight centres across the UK. So that will be people who have the ability to work on an individual level in helping people get back into employability and into housing. And those are really, really specialist roles. And on top of that, we also look at how we can bring people who have experienced homelessness in the past into those roles, into frontline roles as well. So that's really, really, really important, the staffing side of things, to be able to work individually with people. Like materials are important, food is obviously really vital, beds are really vital, but without the people within the organization to actually be able to work with people experiencing homelessness, it's just stuff. It's just things that keep you tided over. It doesn't create that long-term change for people. So that's a huge part. The other thing that I'd say that's really important for funding is our research. So we're very driven by research as an organization, and we use that research to really pressure and lobby the UK government, the Scottish and Welsh governments on making institutional change. So we published some really brilliant work recently as part of our Home for All campaign, and also a campaign called No One Left Out in Wales, that I think has a lot of promise for being able to influence change at a huge scale, and being able to do that research as an organization and not just be operating on a day-to-day basis, just desperately scrabbling around is really, really vital.
All right, that is absolutely amazing all around. Ruffle, last curveball for me. Do you have any questions for Dan here?
I think you covered it all pretty comprehensively there, Dan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you very, very much. We are going to be then wrapping up this opening. Thank you both for joining me. And thank you all for watching so far. If you've joined already, I hope you enjoy this Friday, Saturday, Sunday of amazing, amazing speedruns. Coming up next, we have our Super Mario Odyssey race. You do not want to miss it. What? I probably need to miss my laptop a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, we're going to head into a quick intermission, and then Ruffled's going to be taking over hosting and read some of those donations that have already started piling in. So yeah, keep those donations coming for such an incredible cause, and we'll be right back with our first run. Until then, I've been Paulister.
I've been RuffledBricks.
To my side somewhere.
And I've been Dan, and thank you so much. I'm looking forward to tuning in across the weekend. Thanks, everyone.
It's fantastic. Yeah, stay tuned. Next run's coming up. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.